Tonight, we have an exclusive interview with a women's lacrosse star.
Plus, the lacrosse teams tackle Big East play. Thank you for joining us. Golden Eagles Sports Report starts right now.
Slam! Dunk! Oh, that's a poster.
Live from the Jeannie Hayes Virtual Studio at Marquette University, this is Golden Eagle Sports Report.
Marquette gets the rebound, and the champions have gone down.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Brian Wilson, joined by Layla Hudson. Layla, how are you tonight?
I'm doing amazing, Brian. How are you?
I'm doing great. What a jam-packed show we have for all the viewers. I'm excited to just get right into the show.
Yes, I'm very excited.
Sports producer London Davis had the chance to sit down with senior attacker Meg Byerly after becoming the university's all-time goal and points leader.
Studio 7 with an exclusive interview with the senior attacker Meg Byerly. Meg, it's amazing to have you on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course, of course. I just want to run through a few things before we get to the questions, just so the people know who we're really talking to, right? Since her tenure at Marquette, Byerly has been a 4-time Big East Attacker of the Week award winner, a 6-time Big East Weekly Honor Roll, 2-time Freshman of the Week, Big East All-Academic 3 years in running, All Big East First Team, MU's MVP, a 2025 preseason All Big East and 2025 Big East Offensive Player of the Year. By your sophomore year, you were number 10 all-time in career shots taken here at Marquette. And in your junior year, you tied the single season shot record with 152 shots. And in that same season, there wasn't a single game where you didn't score a goal at all, which ultimately led to you breaking the single season scoring record with 69, I repeat, 69 goals. Extremely decorated, extremely skilled and talented. And even with that, you didn't stop etching your name in history here at Marquette. Recently, you became the all-time points and goals leader in Marquette history. Could you just walk me through like the emotions in the moment when you found out that you etched your name in history and cemented your legacy here at Marquette?
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely like a crazy moment and a happy moment in my career. It just made me feel like really grateful for like all the teams I've been on here and all the teammates I've played with and the coaches who've supported me. Like I've had the same coaches here at Marquette for the past 4 years, so that's really nice. And like just being surrounded by so many great teammates that helped me, it means a lot to me, and I'm really grateful.
Absolutely. Now, could you share with me, like obviously it's a monumental moment in your career. How did you celebrate afterwards?
I mean, I just remember that day, like we were just happy that we got the win and we had a really great game. So, yeah, I mean, that was kind of it. Yeah.
Did you guys go out and did they pour the champagne in the locker room?
Oh no, no. But 2 of my teammates, it was actually really nice. Like on one of the goals that I scored, they like went up to the ref to get the ball, and so they didn't tell me that. It was like a secret. And then after the game, they like wrote on a marker like this many points and they gave me the ball, so that was really nice of them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now the team has started off with an 8-3 record on the year and 2-0 in conference play. What has been the biggest contributor of you guys' success?
I think this year, like from the start in the fall, we knew that this was like a really special team. We just have such a good connection and we all work so hard, and like I think in the fall we put in so much hard work and built up our skills and like built up our connection, and I think that hard work really is bringing us success right now. So we're all really happy to see it paying off. So yeah.
And right now you are on a 4-game winning streak, and it's very easy for teams to really get complacent and start getting stagnant after they rack up the wins through the season. How do you and your team really maintain that locked in presence after each game?
I I think our record so far, 8-3, is really good. So we're trying to build off that momentum, and that gives us a lot of confidence. But now we're in Big East play, and going into every Big East game, we know how important it is and how much we want to win it. So I think that helps us stay like locked into the present moment.
And with no signs of slowing down, what are the expectations of the team for the rest of this season?
I think we have really high expectations for ourselves. Like, we really want to win a Big East. That's our biggest goal. But right now we're just taking it one game at a time. So we have Denver coming up on Wednesday. So right now we're all in on that and trying to stay in the present moment.
You're coming off of a 7-game goal, 7 goals in a game in your recent game against Xavier in that win. And you told me previously that you were playing lacrosse since 3rd grade. How do you really make the game look so easy?
I mean, I think in a game like that, it was easy because our offense was just doing so well, and we were all like, we have this thing where we're like, on offense, we all try to be 7 threats to goal, and when everyone's a threat and someone's driving, I think that just creates so many openings for me or other people. And we had a really great offensive game. And it also helps, like in that game, that our defense was coming up with many stops to get the ball for us. Our draw team was getting the ball, so we had a lot of possession, and just our offense was working really well together. So.
Yeah, and you speak about your offense, and a philosophy of mine is a coach is only as good as their players, right? But it seems to be an intelligent mind behind the players that are out there. So how has Coach Black really helped form this team to be such a dominant force that you guys have been all season?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Black, she basically built our whole program, and she's been our only coach, and she has just created like such an amazing culture and like standards for our team, and she built that for us. And then I think with the team then coming in and really trying to buy into that helps us have success. Yeah.
Absolutely. And speaking of the coaches, like what's the culture like that they have kind of imbued within you guys?
We have this thing called the gold standard, which is like what we like try to like do in our day-to-day life on and off the field. So it's work ethic, hustle, accountability, trust, and self-service. So the idea is if we're all like trying to bring in those values into our lives and like on and off the field, that we will be successful. And I think it's true. So yeah.
Now, most teams, they feed off the energy and impact that their best player gives off. And as a senior and as team leader, how do you make sure that you set the tone for the team ahead of games? I'm
thinking just like as a senior, it's my last year, so I kind of been wanting to like give it all I got, and like I want every game to go the best as possible. So I feel like just before a game, just helping people like understand all the plays we're gonna run, and like understanding the scout of the other team, just so we could all feel prepared and like confident going into the game.
Absolutely. Now, you and senior attacker Hannah Bodner, who has just been named Big East Midfielder of the Week. Congratulations to her. You guys have been the backbone of this offense the entire season. Could you just tell me a little bit about her progression and what you see in her through the past years?
Yeah, I mean, it's really awesome, us being in the same class. Like, she's a really great player. She always has been. Like, just unfortunately, she's had to battle some injuries. So this year, she has been her best season yet, which is really great as a senior, and she still has one more year. And she's just like one of the most like hardworking people I know, and she's so athletic and skilled, and she's just really great. Yeah.
And your upcoming game is against Denver. Is there anything that we should be expecting from the team? Anything that we should look out for in this game?
Just that this is a game that we're all like really excited for, and it's going to be really fun. So we're definitely going to bring a lot of energy and hustle to this game. So should be fun. Yeah.
And is there any team that you are really looking forward to that you have marked down on the calendar, like, my plan is to really put fear in their hearts as soon as we play them?
I mean, hopefully every game, but a game that our team really loves is the Georgetown game, and that's at Georgetown this year, and it's always a good like Big East battle. It's always a tough game, and since it's out there, a lot of people on our team are from the East Coast, so like a lot of parents and families are there, so it's always a really fun game.
Well, unfortunately, that is all the time that we have left. Thank you so much, Meg, for taking the time out to, sit and talk with me, and it was good getting to know you. But make sure to watch the full interview on Twitter or YouTube for Golden Eagle Sports Report. I'm London Davis. Thank you.
Cementing herself at MU's legacy, Byerly continues to impress fans.
Coming up, the track and field team starts their outdoor season.
Plus, don't forget about our weekly award winners, so don't go anywhere as we'll be back shortly after the break.
We scored going to the playoffs. I can't believe I missed that. Every time I'm buzzed, I spend too much time on my phone.
What? I should take your phone away.
No. I'll call for a ride. Hey, why does my face look like that?
I'm playing with these new face filters.
Okay, you know what?
Yep, that's mine.
I'm gonna need that back.
No.
Kevin!
So, I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt, excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends. Home fire drills give your family a plan of action. In a home fire, you may have less than 2 minutes to get out. So when you drill, show everyone 2 ways out of the house, pick a safe meeting spot, and get there in under 2 minutes. Then practice home fire drills at least twice a year. You can even make them fun. So everyone knows the sound and exactly what to do when they hear a smoke alarm. Go to ready.gov/fire drill and learn how to prepare your family for home fires.
Welcome back to Golden Eagle Sports Report. Once again, I'm Brian Wilson.
And I'm Layla Hudson. The men's lacrosse team makes their Big East debut at Valley Fields against St. John's.
The Golden Eagles set the tone early with Carson Brandt scoring the first goal of the match.
The Red Storm does not back down as freshman Jason Cardenas ties the game 2-2 in the first.
The highlight of the game goes to Marquette's Matt Caputa, who channels his inner sports center with this miraculous goal.
St. John's comes out of halftime with a chip on their shoulder as sophomore Adam Debicki cuts the lead to 2.
The Red Storm continue to rely on their underclassmen with freshman Ryan Ordon with a goal in the back of the net.
But the Golden Eagles proved to be too much for St. John's as Bobby O'Grady hits the dagger.
Marquette wins the game 13-8, extending their win streak to 4.
The Golden Eagles were led by Bobby O'Grady and Carson Brandt, who both record 4 goals and 2 assists.
Marquette finds themselves 1-0 in Big East play for the first time since 2022. Following the win against St. John's this week, 3 men's lacrosse players received Big East weekly honors. Sophomore attacker Carson Brandt was named Big East Offensive Player of the Week following his career game versus St. John's. Junior goalie Peter Detweiler and senior attacker Bobby O'Grady also make the Big East weekly honor roll.
The Xavier Musketeers marched to Valley Fields to challenge the women's lacrosse team.
Marquette wastes no time as they net 5 goals in the first 5 minutes.
Xavier responds, but the Golden Eagles answer right back with 2 more quick goals.
The Golden Eagles' goals don't stop there as both Hannah Bodner and Riley Jenkins tally on 2 goals before the buzzer.
Xavier starts the action, but the Marquette onslaught continues in the second period.
That's right, Marquette scores 6 straight goals, 3 from senior attacker Meg Byerly.
Marquette leads 15-3 at the half.
Xavier opens up the scoring in the third period with 2 goals.
Marquette nets a goal back, but Xavier responds to take control of the quarter.
The gears get grinding for the Musketeers as they open a fourth period with 3 goals, but it's too late.
The Golden Eagles tally on 3 more goals to ice the game.
Marquette dominates, winning 19-9.
In the win, senior attacker Meg Byerly scores 7 goals and adds an assist.
Senior midi Hannah Bodner scores a hattie and records an assist while adding 5 ground balls.
Junior attacker Tess Osborne nets 5 goals and an assist in the win as well.
And after a 2-0 week, some Golden Eagles find themselves on the weekly Big East honor roll.
Hannah Bodner is named Big East Midfielder of the Week after putting up 11 goals, 2 assists, 7 ground balls, and 7 draw controls. This is the 3rd time she takes home the honor this season.
First-year attacker Tessa Boehm earns Big East Freshman of the Week. Boehm puts up 5 assists in the week for Marquette.
Tess Auburn also earns a spot on the Big East Weekly Honor Roll after a dominant week.
The junior attacker scored 8 goals and an assist for Marquette. This weekend, the track and field team headed to Illinois State to compete in the annual Redbird Challenge.
After a successful indoor season, this was Marquette's first outdoor event of the year. Outlined by multiple PRs, track and field director Burt Rogers said it was, quote, a very good beginning to our outdoor season. Pewaukee native Julia Beck headlined the hurdles team as she finished the 100 meter in 14.36 seconds, tying her personal record and tallying the 6th best time in program history.
Junior pole vaulter Sophie Harriott made her strides to clear 3.73 meters for a new PR and the 7th highest in Marquette history. Finally, junior Cole Donahue finished first in this weekend's javelin throw with a wildly impressive 5.27 meter toss. Marquette Track and Field continues their 2025 outdoor campaign on April 5th when they travel to the University of California, Berkeley to compete in the Brutus Hamilton Invitational.
And now it's time to name some of our weekly award winners. After going 2-0 on the week, the women's lacrosse team runs away with the honor. They start conference play undefeated. Sticking with the women's lacrosse team, Hannah Bodner wins our MVP of the week. The Haverford native has been a force for the Golden Eagles this season. She scored 11 goals, 2 assists, and racked up 7 ground balls and 7 draw controls. And finally, our rising star of the week is none other than Carson Brandt of the men's lacrosse team. This sophomore attacker notched 4 goals and 2 assists while forcing 2 turnovers versus St. John's. And coming up this week in Marquette sports, the women's lacrosse team welcomed the University of Denver to Valley Field on Wednesday afternoon for an out-of-conference match. On to the weekend, the men's lacrosse team looks to extend their win streak in a home game against the Georgetown Hoyas. The women's team returns to Big East play on Sunday morning as they head to Villanova to face off against the Wildcats. Coming up, who's going to win Defensive Player of the Year? Plus, does the MLB have a disaster brewing? Find out after the break.
Leah, did you put a new dent in that?
This one? No.
Were you texting and driving again?
Yes.
Hi, Leah.
Hi, Dad.
Sorry about your bumper.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. and welcome back to Studio 7 as we discuss NBA awards, drama, and the latest news in professional sports. I'm Zach Pomainville, and joining me on the panel tonight is Nate Bradley and Brian Wilson. Let's get started, guys. With clear frontrunner Victor Wembanyama being out for the remainder of the season, the Defensive Player of the Year race has become far more open to other players with Wemby out. Who do you believe is the 2025 Defensive Player of the Year? Nate, what do you think?
So I'm going to be going with Evan Mobley of the Cleveland Cavaliers. He averages about 9 rebounds, 2 blocks, and 1 steal per game. In the last 10 games he's played, he's matched or improved some of his stat lines. This may seem really cliche, but the stats don't lie.
Yeah, Mobley's a great player, as you see on the graphic, top 5 in blocks. Like, that's what you want for your key players to come up clutch and make big plays. But I'm going to go with a guy who is close to the heart of one of our producers, and it's Draymond Green. He is on the Warriors. He averages 5 defensive rebounds a game, steal and a half per game. Those are huge, and the Warriors are playing a lot better now since the Jimmy Butler trade. Obviously, they didn't play that well when they were in Miami, but ultimately what matters is how you go throughout the season. I think it's really close. I think these are 2 really good players. We were talking before the show about, like, it's so hard because of how good these players can be. Ultimately, I think it's going to be a tight race. It's how you finish the season. These next 9 to 10 games are going to be crucial for both teams, as the Cavs are pretty much a lock for top 3 in the East, and the Warriors trying to move on up. So ultimately, I think these are 2 great players, but I think I'm going to go Draymond just because of the difference he's been able to make down the stretch for them.
Do you think part of that, though, is because of the Jimmy Butler trade?
Well, part of it is, but ultimately it's a team game. It's a team effort, and that's what's going to be huge. And we have just seen the improvement that his and his team has made. But ultimately, it's not up to me. It's not up to you. We're going to have to see how it figures out. I think we have both brought up really great candidates. But I'm excited to see how this process goes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready to throw another guy's name in the ring. Dyson Daniels, of course, he's leading the league in steals right now. He's got 80 more than the next closest player, which is Shea. And he also leads in deflections per game with 6.2 deflections. So, I don't know. For a guy who's making the most impact and he's a really young kid, I'm going to just go with Dyson Daniels. Anyway, most improved player of the year odds have been released, and previous first overall pick, Cade Cunningham, is the expected winner of the award. If Cade wins the award, is it safe to say we have strayed away from the meaning of most improved player? What do you think?
Well, Cade Cunningham is my pick for most improved player, just because of what he has been able to do this season and the jumps he's made. He has 25.7 points per game. That is almost 3 more points than he had a season ago. 9.2 rebound or assists per game, and then 1.6 rebounds per game. These are all jumps by 2 or 3 plus each. That's ultimately what's important, is the difference you can make from one season to a next, and also the impact he has on the team. The Detroit Pistons have almost double the amount of wins that they had in the last 2 years combined. Combined. I don't think the viewers understand how drastic of a change that is, and it's led by Cade Cunningham. So ultimately, I think that's why he will win it. And I don't think it strays away, because if you're improving, that's what matters. And he's helped his team jump to the next level to be competing for a top 5 spot in the Eastern Conference. Is it a deep conference? No, but he's a great player and he's leading a great team right now.
Well, I feel like this is expected. The Pistons last year were one of the most, generationally terrible teams, of course. But this is expected. You see players like Cunningham leading the team, but this, like I said, this is expected. Cunningham was probably one of the most highly touted players coming into the league last season, but it was just a shame he was just on a bad team. For my personal pick, I'm also on the Dyson Daniels train. Daniels averages, like you've seen on the graphic, about 14 points a game compared to an average of about 5.8 a season ago. He's already passed his total game count this season. He played just 61 games last season, and he's engaged in more minutes compared to last. He only averaged about 22 last season compared to 34. Well, he also has improved on three-point shooting as well. It's only a small improvement, but it's made a notable impact, which has helped him so far this season.
Yeah. A lot of great points. I think the problem with Cade is that, of course, he was kind of the first overall pick, and the reason for him to make it so far is because of how well this team has played this year. I mean, the Pistons early were not good at all, and no one thought that they were going to make the playoffs, but he's the one who's led them to where they are. Personally, I'm just going to take Tyler Hero because he's had a jump. I mean, having no Jimmy Butler, kind of gives you a good option, but I mean, he was their sixth man for a long time, and now he's in the starting lineup. He's leading them in scoring, 24 points a game. I'm just gonna say it's Tyler. Anyway, the hot topic of the MLB season so far has been the expanded use of the torpedo bats. Popularized by the Yankees, these bats have become pitcher nightmares that are now taking over the entirety of Major League Baseball. Should the bats be banned, or are these torpedo bats just baseball's next big invention? What do you think?
I'm all for it. It brings more energy to the game. I'm really surprised how this season has started out. And the Yankees proved it in their first series this season against the Brewers. I get it. For many traditionalists, they're not going to like it. This is like other changes we've seen in the past couple of years, like the DH in the National League, the implementation of the pitch clock. Heck, even jersey patches were getting a bad rap at one point. Like you said, the Yankees were the first to prove that they can work, and they're readily available to players across the league. I'm going to give one more example. Last night, Ellie De La Cruz of the Cincinnati Reds had a standout performance against the Rangers. He brought in a career-high 7 RBIs with 4 hits. And this morning, it just came out that De La Cruz was using one of those bats. If other big names in the sports like Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani or even Marcelo Ozuna, for that matter, could get a hold of these bats, it could be great for statistics and for fan viewership. Like you said, it is a pitcher's nightmare, but it's all part of how the game is evolving.
Yeah, that's a really good point. For me, Aaron Judge isn't using the bat, and he has 4 home runs and 5 hits. But I kind of want to tell a story of what it compares to, because Brewers manager Pat Murphy talked about it being like a magic wand and the hitter being the magician, but not everybody can use a magic wand. Only the magician can use the magic wand. So I compare it to a key. So if you have a table full of keys, they can open a boatload of doors, but you don't know which door it opens. You can grab any one. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And ultimately, that's like the bat. And you need a person to put the key into the slot to open it. And ultimately, that's what you need to use it. When you're when you have the key and the person uses the key to open the door, it's the reason for the door being open is the person, not the key, just like the bat. The bat is being used and being successful because of it is through the person, not the bat itself. And people are just overreacting so much because they are talking about how the bat is it's the bat. No, it's the person who is using the bat. And so that's really my comparison, is because ultimately it could work for anybody, it could not. It's the swing path that's important. And just like you need to put the right key in the right door for it to work, you need to use the right swing path for it to work and the ball to hit that. So ultimately, that's what it is. And it is a legal bat. It is, according to Rule 3.02, it is under that rule that it's legal. Rob Manfred has come out and said it's legal. So it is a totally fine bat to use. And I don't think that it's a problem, because when you look at pitchers can use analytics. Why can't batters use analytics for their swing path? Oh, the barrel is missing through my swing path. Let's move it down a little bit so my barrel hits the swing path. So,
yeah, I mean, makes a lot of sense. My whole thing with it, though, is because I feel like it's kind of almost just taking the beauty out of baseball. I feel like a lot of people just want to watch baseball just go fast and go quickly, but that's the thing, is the defensive side is also a beauty to it, and we're kind of losing that with this new bat. Anyway, thank you for the fantastic discussion, but we're sadly out of time. Tune in next week for all of our coverage on Marquette sports and more. I'm Zach Bomainville. Good night, Marquette.